Welcome back to Figure Depot. Today we're taking a look at the 80th anniversary Uncanny X-Men Silver Samurai in the Vintage Wave. He comes in a card back with a blister style bubble with a clamshell inside, which features the character and his katana and wakizashi, and it's in the same style that Toy Biz did back in the 90s whenever they had their X-Men line, and all the villains came on the purple card back, and then all of the heroes came on the orange card back. And you get the similar artwork and design, which is a nod to that line. Then we have the back of the card, which in the same fashion as the vintage figures features the little drawing of the character, which demonstrates his features, and then you would have the other figures that would be featured in the line over here. Alright, and here is Silver Samurai out of the package, looking fierce. He's a nice size character. Silver Samurai is depicted as being much larger than Wolverine, and as we put them side by side, you can tell that that is the case proportionally. So good on you for doing that correctly. And figure looks great. He's got traditional samurai armor and headdress, and he comes with, as I mentioned before, his two swords, and the wakizashi is a little shorter. It's the shorter of the two swords, and then the katana would be the longer sword. And they're done in just kind of a flat silvery gray plastic. They're not shiny like chrome or anything. The armor of Silver Samurai is depicted as being chrome and real shiny, and actually the vintage toy that this one's based off of was actually very shiny. It was a vacuum formed chrome, just like the old Silverhawks toys used to be, but they decided not to go that route here with this, and you know, that's perfectly fine. It still looks incredible. It's a really nice figure. We've got the shoulder armor and the aprons, front, rear, and side armor that hang from the waist are the same color plastic, and then his boots and shin guards, I should say, his hand and forearm guards, the plate here under his neck, and then the helmet are all sort of that a shinier armor, or shinier silver. And then his clothing is kind of a gray. It's like a kind of a charcoal gray with just a slightly metallic sheen to it, and I'll bring that in a little closer so we can get a little better look here. You can see there's really nice detailing in the samurai armor. This is an all-new sculpt and it's, man, it just looks fantastic. The details on it are top-notch. Really nice. Very nice work here by the sculptors over at Hasbro. And you can see the rivets bolting his panels of his armor on there. Everything just looks really nice. You can tell here with the eyes that they, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, there they are. The whites of his eyes are kind of sunken in, and this is a molded piece glued onto the head, just like you would traditionally have a hair piece glued onto a head for these figures. So it has a real nice three-dimensional look to make it look very realistic. And something consistent across the board on these is where the red bleeds over onto this little part. Seen that on several of these figures, but it's something I can touch up. So looks very nice, and just a really great figure. I'll take his swords off, and then we'll go over the articulation. It is standard articulation for what we would get normally with Marvel Legends, but his armor here does prevent his arms from going much farther than straight out to the side. He does have the traditional ball hinges. We get a bicep swivel. We get double jointed elbows that come in real nice. We get a roll of the dice up and down at the wrist, and we get a swivel. Then we get a diaphragm joint here, which goes back to there, forward to there. The head's on a ball joint, of course, as these traditionally are, but he can't look up far because his helmet hits his collar there. He can, however, look down pretty well. And then we have legs that kick out really nice. We have double jointed knees, and then we have thigh cut, toes rock back and forth, and they have pivot. So not any different really than what we traditionally get in articulation from a Marvel Legends figure. As you can see, he fits in really well with Wolverine in the brown suit from that story arc where he goes back to Japan. There's a film, of course, made about the Wolverine that sort of borrowed from that comic, but very loosely adapted to it. The comic's actually really good, and definitely a good read if you want to go back and read it. And I have him here posed with an Articulated Icons Black Ninja, and looks really awesome with him. You could use this as a shredder if you wanted to for your Ninja Turtles, if you wanted to kind of have a similar look to what he did in the Jerry Bruckheimer movie, which I'm just trying to forget ever happened, but there it is if you want it. But he fits in really well where he should. For some size comparisons, here we have the Silver Samurai next to Hulk, which was also a popular favorite in the late 80s with Toy Biz, kind of coming out from their initial lines with generic Marvel figures before they focused in specifically on X-Men with their popularity with the Saturday morning cartoon on Fox Kids. And then we have him there also with the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure from the Hasbro Marvel Legends line as well. To give you an idea of just how big he is, here he is next to a Masters of the Universe Classic Stratos and He-Man figure. And these are 7-inch figures, and of course Marvel Legends are in the 6-inch scale. So you can see where he's actually a good size, because he's about an inch taller than your average Marvel Legends figure. Here he is next to my custom Michael Keaton 1989 Batman, which I made from a Marvel Legends Venom figure and a NECA 89 Keaton Batman figure, and then a DC Direct Public Enemies Superman figure. And here he is next to a comic Daredevil. This is the Defenders 4-pack, and then the Pizza Spidey, which these are more average size figures for Marvel Legends, and so you can get an idea with how he scales a little better with regular Marvel Legends figures. And here he is with Netflix, Daredevil, and Elektra. And here he is with some Articulated Icons ninjas. We have the basic Black Ninja, the basic Red Ninja, and the deluxe White Ninja with the arms and wraps pack, which I use for my Storm Shadow. And you never don't need a Black Ninja in your arsenal, but also with the Red Ninjas especially, they make great hand ninjas, and they make awesome Ninja Turtles. You can use them for foot soldiers. You can use them for the Arashikage ninjas, which would go with Storm Shadow. So they're very versatile. You can use them across tons of different lines. I highly recommend tracking them down. If you can find them on eBay, they're going to be expensive, but in my opinion, they're worth it. There might be a couple left on the Articulated Icons Shopify, which you can go to their Instagram, Articulated Icons, and then you can go to the link to their Shopify from their Instagram page. And they do, I think, still have some limited stock of some ninjas available, but they probably will not last long, so grab them while you can. Alright, well that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this review. I give Silver Samurai a A+. Fantastic figure, all new sculpt, and just fantastic details. Real quick before we go, I'd like to put him beside the vintage Toy Biz Silver Samurai figure. So here you can see the vintage Silver Samurai figure, and my kids have been playing with him, and he's pretty much trashed. One of his arms is broken off. Something that the original toy did feature, besides the vacuum chrome, was it had a removable helmet. So you could take the helmet off, and as you can see, with the helmet removed, you can see the face, the whole head of the Silver Samurai. But that is not possible with the 80th anniversary. But anyway, just a fun little moment here to kind of look back at what we got originally and what we have today with modern scale and modern articulation. So leave a comment below, let me know your favorite figure from the old Toy Biz line of Marvel Legends, and let me know what your favorite figure in Marvel Legends in modern times is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.